together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle, and it's just going to be me today running it solo again. We have a full baseball slate, which we have, 9 or 10 games left. We are down the stretch. We had our first clinching last night for a division. We had our first playoff clinching as well, or our second playoff clinching. So we already know guaranteed 2 teams in the playoffs. So there's that. So we got plenty to go over, but we'll recap yesterday first, and then we will get into the games. It was, a 3-4-2 night. It was a weird night. 2 pushes in there. Had the White Sox first 5, lost the full game. I wasted my day watching 13 innings of Chicago White Sox baseball for a split of that game, but still up 0.15 units on the game. Atlanta, Cincinnati under 8.5 was a winner. Got a little too sweaty at the end there as Atlanta put up 3 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th to make it 7-1. And it was a little bit too much of a sweat there. Over 9, LA, Miami, winner there. Pushed the first 5 with the Astros, lost the full game with the Astros, lost the first 5 with the Red Sox, lost the Royals money line, and pushed the first 5 with the Phillies. So overall, just a weird day yesterday of a lot of pushes, and feels like games that could have gone better that didn't. But it is what it is. We move on. We have a full slate of baseball today. A couple clinches that already happened last night. Congratulations to the Milwaukee Brewers, National League Central champions. And congratulations to the New York Yankees, the first team in the American League to punch their ticket to the postseason with their win over Seattle last night, as Seattle's playoff hopes just get a little bit more faint again. They're now, I'm trying to see where they are in the standings, because actually Minnesota lost yesterday, so they're still 3 games out. The Tigers are a half a game out, and we look at, and the Royals are only a game and a half ahead of Minnesota, so we could easily see potentially over the last couple weeks here a second wild card team in the American League be the Detroit Tigers. So, but we'll head over to the chat and then we'll get into today. Luis Angel Acuna, he's been good. I smell it. Hockey is coming. There we go. So we will get into some baseball for today. Let's get that up there. And let's get into it. Actually, nope, I lied. We have Thursday Night Football first. I go to click the games and I realize, New England Patriots and New York Jets is typed in, not the first baseball game. Which, let's get into it here. New York Jets hosting the New England Patriots. It's a 6 with a total of 38.5 in this game. Let's get up the line history in this spot where we have, let's see. It's loading. Give me a minute. There we go. This line opened up at a 7. But really with the NFL, I like to look at where it opened up on Monday morning when all the dust settles and all that. So on March the 16th, it opened up at a 6.5, went down to a 6, back up to a 6.5, back down to a 6. If this hits 5.5 in a majority of the markets, I'm going to look to find a 6 and bet the Patriots. Is the way I'm approaching this game here. This line opened up at a 40, and then went down to a 38.5. It got down to a 37.5 at one point. It's now 38.5. I got in at 38. I took the under in this game here. We have 48% of tickets and 63% of cash on the Jets spread. We have 68% of tickets and 53% of cash on the over in this spot here. We have the New York Jets off of their first win of the season. They go into Tennessee. They win that game 24-17. It's their first home game of the year. First time Aaron Rodgers gets to play at MetLife Stadium since the injury last year. On the flip side, New England Patriots coming in off of their first loss of the year last week. They lost in overtime 23-20 to the Seattle Seahawks. Previous to that, they beat the Cincinnati Bengals 16-10 as the biggest underdog of week number 1. And it's a short week. I expect the Patriots to be able to run the ball a little bit against the Jets' run defense. The Jets' run defense has kind of struggled, but the pass defense is good luck trying to throw against the Jets, which that kind of plays right into the Patriots type of style here. And asking Aaron Rodgers to go out there and perform well on 4 days rest is not something I'm gung-ho about doing. And if this line drops down to a 5.5, I either want to take the Patriots plus the points or the Jets team total under. It's kind of the way I would approach this game for a side perspective. Would be one of those two ways. If the line drops, if the line stays at a 6, it's a pass for me. I have no interest in this game at a 6, but this is kind of me trying to wait for the market to tell me what the side is, really, because I think if this goes up to a 6.5, the Jets can win this game like 17-7 or something along those lines. If this goes down to a 6, this could be something along the lines of 14-10. 17-14. I think the first team to 20 wins this football game, kind of thing. I'm on the under 38 in this spot, under 38 for me. With trying to look towards where this line moves. Rodgers under 215.5 passing yards. I can see it. Stevenson over 15.5 rushing attempts. I love that. If I'm betting the under, that might be like something that I'm interested in. Is that under? Over my bad. That over 15.5 rushing attempts. That means they run the ball a lot. Yeah, I agree with that. Breece Hall under 1.5 rushing receiving. I can see that. Let's go, y'all. Good luck today, my brother. And possibly, what's good stuff, Gio? I took the under once the lines came out. There you go. Back on my bullshit yesterday, up 9-6, up 3 units. There you go. Sorry, guys, for missing another show. My new schedule sucks. It does suck, but that's beyond the point. Patriots team total under 15.5. I kind of lean in that direction as well. I could see this be a 17-14 Jets win, something along those lines. Jets money line live, bet they're going to win. Yeah, the question is, do we ever get that opportunity to bet them live? Or do they come out to a decent start and then that line is nowhere to be seen when it comes to trying to live bet them? So just the under 38 for me is the way I'm approaching that game, and we'll move into baseball. The Baltimore Orioles and the San Francisco Giants. I'm mad I didn't pull the trigger on the Giants yesterday. I said that line was way too wide. And I believe now the Giants go for the sweep over the Orioles in this game. It'll be Zach Eflin taking on Logan Webb. This line opened up at a 125 for the Orioles. It's a 144 now. So we do have a move towards Baltimore in this game. Line opened up 7.5 minus 110. It's now 7.5 plus 105. So we can move towards the under here as well, like we've had the first few games. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one here, and maybe this is an underplay. We have the sharps on the Giants, 29% of tickets, 62% of the cash on the Giants. Line's moving towards the Orioles, though. 86 and 84 is on the over, and yet this line's moving down, which makes the under very, very appealing. Let's take a look at the pitchers here. We have Logan Webb, 5.59 ERA, 1.38 whip, 6.52 strikeouts per 9, which is 17%. 1.86 walks per 9, a 3.26 BABIP, a 4.14 FIP, and a 3.60 SIERA. On the flip side, we have Zach Eflin, 2.33 ERA, 1.03 whip, 7.45 strikeouts per nine, which is 21%, 1.4 walks per nine, a 259 BABIP, a 4 FIP, and a 3.80 SIERA. The bullpen edge here going towards the Orioles. The hitting edge goes towards the Orioles, 90 WRC plus, which is 21st, compared to 87, which is 23rd. Let's take a look at the bullpen usage here because I'm kind of interested in the under full game in this one. And one thing you got to keep in mind is I don't know if he's on the roster right now, but the Orioles DFA Craig Kimbrel, which as someone who wants an under in this game, I love that they did that because I can't trust that overrated bum right now to do anything, even in a low leverage situation. He's not even listed on the bullpen here. They used Bowman, Webb, and Soto yesterday. Probably Bowman's the only non-available pitcher because he's thrown back-to-back days. But Webb should be available. Soto should be available. Dominguez should be available. Perez should be available for the Orioles. On the flip side, for the Giants, they used a little bit of bullpen yesterday. Helly's not going to be available. Probably Tyler Rogers will not be available. He threw back-to-back days. Other than that, I feel like everybody else should be available. Tristan Beck, Eric Miller, Ryan Walker, Jordan Hicks, Taylor Rogers, Camilo Doval, and Spencer Bivens all should be available here. So we have a fresh bullpen for the Giants. We have a relatively fresh bullpen here for these Orioles, and I think this is an under. And I'm gonna see what the number is for the under in this game, which is 7.5 minus 125. A little pricey, but I think that's worth it. So under 7.5 for me to start my day with the Giants and the Orioles. Let me go ahead and track this real quick too. Because this is an early game, I don't want to get carried away and forget to track it. So we track it over on my CapperTek, which you guys can follow my CapperTek and get a week of free plays. Let me just real quick. Let me see if anybody has followed my CapperTek within the last day. And no, nobody else has followed my CapperTek, so nobody else can get my my plays 7 days of plays for free. If they sign up and use my CapperTek, which is right there. So yeah, there's a little self plug there with that. So I'm on the under 7.5 to start my day here. With the Orioles and the Giants. I wanted the under yesterday. I stayed off. I think it would have pushed today. I'm going to be right back on it. I think I'm going to be on a few unders today because this card has the feel of early games and that would, I think, lead to some more unders. So there's that. I forgot to grade some of my plays from last night. Oops. That one was a winner. This one was a push. That one was a winner. This one was a loser, and that one was a push. All right. Head back over to the chat. I'm out. Good luck, guys. Can't wait till I'm staying for the whole shows once hockey and basketball come back. Yeah, can't wait to talk some puck here. And not too long. October 4th is the first game. But then the real excitement starts on the 8th when we have the full slates. Supness. What's good, Lex? Cubs money line killed my 9-leg parlay yesterday. Jeez. So yeah. That's probably really frustrating. I mean, the best way to go 8-1 is a 9-leg parlay, though. So, Giants money line, Logan Webb. I would only look. I want to say I would only look Giants, but the market's actually telling me that probably the Orioles get the job done here. But I am not. I am not laying a number with the Orioles. I will promise you that they are a team that I have no interest in laying a number on. Yastrzemski back-to-back home games with a leadoff home run. Yeah, Giant smash. Conforto has 3 bombs off of Eflin. Wow. O's are broken and have been since the Weatherg went down. Sucks as an O's fan, but that offense is gone lately. Yeah. But we'll move on here. We have the Cincinnati Reds and the Atlanta Braves. This line's minus 200 for the Braves with a total of 9 in this game. We have Chris Sale and Aguilar in this matchup here. Line opened up a 200. It's down to a 195. Line opened up at an 8. It's all the way up to a 9. So this line moves a full run up. With Chris Sale, that is stunning that this line has moved as much as it has, which tells me maybe he's a little bit vulnerable with the line moving slightly towards these Reds. With 15% of the tickets and 28% of cash on the Reds, the line moving towards them. That's really interesting. 68% of tickets, 78%, 76% of the cash on the over here as well. Tells me we see a vulnerable Chris Sale, but I don't know though, because I don't know, honestly. 68% of tickets, 76% of cash on the over. So at least the market's respecting the money towards the over, and it's not an overly public over. And I wanted to back an under at this number with Chris Sale, but I just can't with the market the way it is. Chris Sale, 1.42 ERA, 1.08 whip, 9.95 strikeouts per 9, which is 28%, 1.66 walks per 9, at 343 BABIP, but 1.67 FIP, and a 3.18 CR. He's been awesome. I asked this trivia question yesterday. Nobody answered it. I forgot to recap the answer for it. But Chris Sale and Tariq Skubal are both looking to go for the Triple Crowns pitching-wise this year. It's only happened one other time in MLB history that 2 pitchers won the Triple Crown in opposite leagues in the same season. Who were those 2 pitchers? Well, I'll recap that once we get back to the chat. Julian Aguilar, 4.88 ERA, 1.23 whip, 4.88 strikeouts per 9, which is 13%, 3.25 walks per 9, a 212 BABIP, a 6.32 FIP, and a 5.60 CR. Massive bullpen edge towards Atlanta. Hitting edge goes towards Atlanta. 84 WRC plus, which is 24th, compared to 43, which is 29th. The Reds are not hitting lefties at all right now, which is ultimately going to keep me off this game because I don't like the way the markets move towards the over in this game. The fact that we have a 9 in a Chris Sale game is probably telling, which ultimately is going to keep me off of this under. But I can only look under, and I lean Reds at the number, but another spot where I'm probably not going to get involved with that. The public on the Braves, line moving towards the Reds, though, does make the Reds as a big dog kind of appealing. And it would be Reds first 5. I kind of want to take a look what that line movement is for it. Let's take a look what the Reds first 5 is. It's moved against them. Okay. No, this is enough to keep me up. This line has gone from a 4 to a 4.5 first 5 as well. Tells me Chris Sale is vulnerable in this game, which I don't get because the Reds are not hitting. Am I missing something here? Is the weather extremely advantageous for offense in this game? Like, yeah, wind blowing right out, but only 3 miles an hour, but it's blowing out. And we're getting decent humidity and degrees between 87 and 90 degrees today. Maybe it's a Reds team total over. Because that's what the markets are telling me, is that Chris Sale is vulnerable. And if Chris Sale is vulnerable, what's this Reds team total over? 2.5. It's minus 150, but it's 2.5. Pass. No play here for me. There you go. Have you heard of not to catch a falling knife? Orioles are a falling knife. I followed y'all on CapperTek that first day you put it out, but the app is wonky, so is wonky. I'm too used to using my picket. That's fair. Braves smash. Did Chris Sale and Yusei Kikuchi. I did Chris Sale and Kikuchi to record a win. Yeah, Kikuchi for the Astros has been awesome. Reds team total over 3.5, and Braves minus 2.5. Yeah, no, I'm definitely not laying 2.5 runs with the Braves. That's one thing I know for sure I'm not doing in this game. And by the way, we have Chris Sale, Tariq Skubal. Seeing that nobody guessed it. Tariq Skubal and Chris Sale are trying to complete triple crowns for pitching, which I believe is wins, ERA, and strikeouts, I think. The last time we had 2 pitchers from opposite leagues win the triple crown in the same year was 2011. Clayton Kershaw and Justin Verlander. What up? What's good, Markel? We'll move on to the next matchup here. We have the Minnesota Twins and the Cleveland Guardians. This line opened up at a minus 110. It's not open. It's minus 110 for the Guardians. Total 8 in this game. Let's take a look at the pitching or the line history. Line opened up at a minus 110. It's now a minus 109. So we have a 1 cent line movement here towards Minnesota. Line opened up 8.5 down to an 8. So move towards the under here as well. And that move towards the under makes that under kind of appealing here. We have 46% of tickets and 60% of cash on the under. So a nice little sharp under here in this spot. And then we have 70% of tickets, 84% of cash on the Guardians. The line's moving towards those Minnesota Twins. Only a cent, though, for this game. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup here. We have Simeon Woods-Richardson taking on Jose Cantillo. Woods-Richardson, 5.66 ERA, 1.65 whip, 7.4 strikeouts per nine, which is 18%, 5.56 walks per nine, a 3.06 BABIP, a 4.67 FIP, and a 5.67 SIERA. On the flip side, Joey Cantillo, 4.08 ERA, a 0.85 whip, 11.21 strikeouts per nine, which is 33%, 2.04 walks per nine, a 2.37 BABIP, a 2.83 FIP, and a 2.64 SIERA. Bullpen edge, Guardians. Hitting edge, Guardians. 100 WRC plus, which is 13th, compared to 93, which is 15th. I want to take a look at what these bullpens look like, which they used Clase yesterday. He had a day off on Tuesday, but he's pitched 3 of the last 4 games. Maybe he's available. Hunter Gaddis, he threw 17 yesterday. Cade Smith threw 13 yesterday. Other than that, it's a pretty fresh bullpen, other than them using a couple guys earlier in the week. And then on the flip side, we have the Minnesota Twins bullpen. Show me Griffin Jax and Yohan Duran available. Duran will not be available in this game. Griffin Jax might not be available in this game. Ronnie Henriquez won't be available in this game. So it looks like we'd probably get Cole Sands, Caleb Thibar, maybe Louis Varland, Cole Irving, Michael Tonkin, Scott Blewett. I wanted Duran available, but they still have a pretty fresh bullpen outside of those guys, which I'm okay with. They have a strong bullpen, the Minnesota Twins. Line's gone down to an 8, which I think is very interesting. I want to see if there's any 8.5s available at all. But because I think that there are, it's on ESPN bet minus 130. It's minus 135 here. I think I'm just going to stick with the 8 at minus 110. I'm going to take the under in this game. And if I push because I don't pay the extra 20 cents, so be it. Under 8, Minnesota, Cleveland for me in this game. I'm going to go track this real quick because it is an early game. So Minnesota, Cleveland under 8 for me in this game. Let's see. Twins are dead. That was so dumb last night. Fair. Let's see. Over 8. Army minus 6.5. I got in at 6. I'm going to be on Buffalo. I'm on San Jose State. I'm against you on Clemson. I got 21 with NC State, and I have not touched that Tulane game. Twins minus 1.5. I expected that a desperate team that wants to win. Apparently, they're just not that good right now. Nick, my favorite 2 bets for opening night, Montreal money line. You can never I will never steer you off of taking a dog shot against the Leafs. I just won't. And the Vegas Golden Knights. Who do the Knights play opening night? I guess let me take a look at that real quick because I want to talk some puck. I haven't really looked into it too much. It's Saturday. Where let me get to October 8th is opening night, where we get 3 games. And then it's the 9th, Montreal at home, kind of like that. Against Colorado, I don't know. I'm not high on the Vegas Golden Knights this year. That's one thing I will tell you. I think the play is the New York Rangers on the road against Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's going to be bad this year. I wouldn't talk you off of maybe Edmonton minus 1 against Winnipeg, maybe an under in that game. It's going to be a 6. Maybe you might get a 6.5 by puck drop. But yeah, Montreal, I could probably get involved with you there. We'll see. Louisiana Tech -3. I did not get to that game yet. Under 55 in Tulane. See, Canadians money line against the Leafs, of course. Yeah. Nick, who's your top 3 cup contenders this year? That's a great question. Let's take a look at what we have for the odds here on Stanley Cup. Futures? Would that be under futures here? Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't fault anyone going back to the Florida Panthers at 10-1. Colorado at 13-1. Vancouver 18-1. I think is kind of appealing. Maybe if we get a full year of Thatcher Demko. No Rangers, no Nashville, no New Jersey, no Carolina, no to Boston. I think Boston to miss the playoffs, Vegas to miss the playoffs are worth a look. Same with the Kings. Not anything. I don't know yet. I have to dive deeper into it. Yeah. Nick, get that Vegas -110 early before it moves. You'll see Lankinen and Landeskog officially announced out as we get closer to game time. I don't know if I'm betting that game. I think that's one where I want to fade Vegas, though. Like, I think maybe it's an under in that game. Maybe it's an under because I think, or Vegas team total under. I'm not high on Vegas this year. I'm not high on their offense this year. I look for them to not to miss the playoffs this year. Scrap the MLB. Let's talk hockey. There you go. Favorite futures bet: Canada to win the Four Nations. Good luck. I'm hoping on the national train. I'm hopping on the national train before everyone else does. I feel like plenty have not hopped on it because of the offseason moves they've made. And Barry Trotz we trust, I guess. Utah Hockey Club to make the playoffs. Yeah, I kind of like the Utah Coyotes. I'm not going to call them the Hockey Club. I'm going to call them the Utah Coyotes just to piss people off. Bruins +125 against the Panthers at home. Love it. Love it. Love it. Banner raising. Yep. Love that look. Let's get back on to baseball, though, because unfortunately we still got a couple weeks before hockey returns. So let's talk some baseball. Texas Rangers, Toronto Blue Jays, -120 for the Rangers, total 7.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this one. I forgot to put up the under in that Twins game. We go under 8 in that one. We have Toronto. We have Gausman and Rocker in this one here. That's a fun matchup. Line open up 110. It's now 119 for Texas. Line open up at a 7.5 or an 8 down to a 7.5 now. I just want to take one quick look at one thing here. Line open up 4.5 down to a 4 for the first 5. Okay, that appeals to me a little bit there. 93% of tickets, 89% of cash on the over. Line dropping. 32% of tickets, 92% of cash on the Jays. The line moving towards the Rangers in this one here. We have Kevin Gausman and Kumar Rocker. We have Gausman, 3.23 ERA, 1.21 whip, 7.92 strikeouts per 9, which is 21%. I accidentally click off a tab, so of course that goes off. Come on, there we go. 3.23 walks per 9, 287 BABIP, but 2.91 FIP, and a 4.38 Sierra. On the flip side, we have the second career start of Kumar Rocker, where in his first start, he looked decent. Like, he pitched against the Mariners in game 1 of that series. He went out there, he threw 4 innings, gave up 1 earned run on 3 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. I look for him to throw 5 today. Is kind of where I would look towards Rocker. I want to see what his strikeouts are 4.5 -120. It's kind of interesting there. We do not have an outs prop for him. The question is, how far in this game does he go? I think he can pitch well. The bullpen edge goes towards the Rangers, but they both suck. And the hitting edge does go towards the Blue Jays, 138 WRC plus, which is number 1 in baseball the last 30 days compared to 97, which is 16th. And even though the Blue Jays are hitting as well as they are, I want to back Rocker. And I don't want to do it with a bullpen like what the Rangers have. or the Blue Jays have, because I don't trust either of their bullpens for a full game. I don't even need to look at their bullpen freshness or anything along those lines. I will take a first 5 under, though, in this game. I will take the first 5 under 4, which I can get around minus 110. I look for both these pitchers to pitch fine. I do not trust the Texas Rangers offense. The line moving towards the under. It feels like everything correlates here for an early first 5 under in this game. First 5 under 4, minus 115 for me in this game. First 5 under 4, minus 115. Track. And then let me track this over on my CapperTek. And we will continue on. Let's see. Yeah, thank you. They are the Coyotes. I miss my Yotes, even though they are still here. Yeah. I see a Nerfy. Yep. It's at plus 175 for the Yotes to make the playoffs. I like it. I do like it. Let's see. Rangers smash. Kumar Rocker over K's. Maybe I'll buy your capper once NHL is around. See, with that, you just have to follow it, and then after the week, you got to buy it, whatever. But if you follow it, you'll get a week for free. But you can wait till hockey season for that though, if you want. Rockers strikeout ladder, worth a look. Braves under 8.5. You almost don't have to cap their unders at this point. Yeah, the one thing that kind of scares me though is that the line's gone up, and I feel like they're begging for under money with that, because they know how good their unders have been, and it's their best pitcher on the mound, and it's gone from an 8 to a 9, which scared the hell out of me. So let's see. As you know, the Kraken. I cashed Kraken to miss the playoffs at plus 150 from last summer. Now they're plus 180 to make the playoffs. Yeah. I didn't end up betting any of it, but I did buy into the hype a little bit, which was stupid. But I don't know what to think about that team this year, honestly. Can they bounce back and be good enough to make the playoffs? Maybe. Do I like the other teams in that division better? Yeah. I like Utah to take a step up in that division. I still like Vancouver and Edmonton. And then you still got Vegas and LA, which I'm not high on Vegas and LA. I will look to fade those two teams this season. But yeah, they suck. They do. Logan Webb versus Zach Eflin. I'm backing Eflin. I took the under. I took the under a 7.5. Under 7.5 in that game. I'm on 3 unders to start today. Let's keep it going. The Seattle Mariners and the New York Yankees. Pick them. Total 7 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history here between Clark Schmidt and Logan Gilbert, where it opened up at a 105. It's now 110. Line opened up 7.5 at plus 105. It's now 7 minus 125 for the over. We have 74% of tickets, 75% of cash on the over, 64% of tickets, and 82% of cash on the Yankees. Line moving towards the Mariners, line moving towards the under in this game. Here's the market's not really respecting the money coming in on these teams or the total in this one here. Clark Schmidt, 1.74 ERA, 1.07 whip, 6.1 strikeouts per 9, which is 18%, 1.74 walks per 9, a 276 BABIP, a 3.66 FIP, and a 3.95 SIERA. Logan Gilbert, I expect better from. 4.7 ERA, 1.91 whip, 12.62 strikeouts per 9, which is 36%, 1.47 walks per 9, a 279 BABIP, a 265 FIP, and a 2.36 SIERA. Bullpen edge goes towards the Yankees. Hitting edge goes towards the Mariners, so 130 WRC plus, which is third against righties the last 30 days, compared to 100, which is 14th. I expect better from Logan Gilbert, and I think this market kind of does as well, with them now being minus 110. I kind of think the Mariners win this baseball game. I want to take a look at what the bullpen availability looks like. Lucas Weaver threw 29 yesterday. He might not be available. Clay Holmes threw 19. He might be. Other than that, everybody else should be available. Tim Meza, Tommy Colley, Ian Hamilton, Tim Hill, and Jake Cousins. On the flip side, we have the Mariners with their bullpen. Let's take a look at their bullpen availability here, where they They threw Munoz for 24 yesterday, Schneider for 20, and Troy Taylor for 18. Trent Thornton, Edward Bizardo will be available. They haven't pitched since Sunday. Voth threw 26 on Tuesday. He might be available. Jonathan Diaz threw 44 on Tuesday. He won't be available, most likely there. I don't know how to approach this game. I would like the Mariners. I think the Mariners are the side in this game. Market's kind of pointing towards that way. And the market's pointing towards Logan Gilbert pitching well. And I kind of, that was my cap. It's Logan Gilbert pitches well. My ultimate question mark was, what is Clark Schmidt going to do? And the market suggests that both these pitchers pitch well. So maybe this is just an under 7, which I rarely play 7s for totals. But maybe this is another under to start the day, and we just have a very low-scoring, boring start to the day. And it looks like 7 is plus 105 because it just moved down to the 7. Maybe I could get a 7.5 in this game at a reasonable number. I want to see what that is because I want the ability for 4-3 to be a win, not a push for me. Wow, really? Under 7's plus 105, but under 7.5 is minus 135. That's lame. That's awful. Okay. I wanted the 7.5 here. I don't know. Kind of want the Mariners a little bit. Kind of want the under. Maybe that's just a Yankee team total under then, which that's 3.5. That's a little low there. The Mariners offense has been better as of late. I think I just take the Mariners in this spot. I think that's just the move. It's just the Mariners at minus 115 in this game. I'm going to do that. Seattle Mariners, minus 115. Look for them to avoid the sweep. A desperate team. My bad. That's actually, never mind. The Yankees popped champagne last night. No, I totally forgot about that. This is Mariners money line. The Yankees just popped champagne last night. This is a desperate Mariners team. That's something you got to keep in mind. I just talked myself into the Mariners here. Mariners money line minus 115. For sure here for me. Yankee money line. Nope. Yankees smash. Nope. Mariners run line. Wow. Go for the bomb there, I guess. Bullpen. Yankees bullpen can't trust. Fair. Last time you guys faded Schmidt on his first day back, he got the dub. Did I fade him on his first day back? What was that game? The Red Sox game. No, I don't think I did. Let me take a look. That was on the 13th. I don't think I did. I backed the Yankees minus 1 and I pushed. Because I backed the Yankees minus 1 in that game because I faded Richard Fitz. Don't remember against who, though. It was against the Red Sox. I had the Yankees minus 1 and I pushed. Did you see that guy throw his bat at Julio Rodriguez last night? Nope. Yanks bringing that belt out tonight. They celebrated last night, so I don't know how much the concentration is going to be there against a desperate Mariners team. So Mariners D-backs parlay. I will probably be on the Diamondbacks today. That'll probably be a play for me. Let's keep it moving now. Did I not track? I never tracked that on BetStamp. The under in the Guardians game, which is an 8 at minus 110 for that one. Yep. There we go. Did I track that first 504? I did track the first 504. Let me track the Mariners. This is the non-sexy parts of running a show by yourself, is tracking plays and things along those lines. Let's move on. The LA Dodgers taking on the Miami Marlins. We did hit with this over last night. The question is, do we go back to it today? Edward Cabrera and Jack Flaherty, your pitching matchup. Line opened up at a 182. It's now a 207. Line opened up at an 8 at minus 110. It's still an 8 at minus 110. So no line movement on this total with 81% of tickets, 79% cash on the over. I know a lot of people are going to immediately think over with these two teams. Well, we'll get into it. And then we have 13% of the tickets, but 65% of cash is on the Marlins. So the sharp money on the Marlins and the line's moving against them. I have no interest in the side on this game. These are two teams I'd rather bet against than bet on, as I've bet against them all year long. So when they play each other, it's tough to do that. But we have, let's take a look. Jack Flaherty, 2.93 ERA, 1.27 WHIP, 8.78 strikeouts per nine, which is 23%, 3.25 walks per nine, a 3.03 BABIP, a 3.35 FIP, and a 4.19 SIERA. On the flip side, Edward Cabrera, 2.12 ERA, 0.98 WHIP, 8.8 strikeouts per nine, which is 25%, 2.73 walks per nine, a 2.27 BABIP, a 3.54 FIP, and a 3.72 SIERA. The bullpen edge goes towards the Marlins. The hitting edge slightly goes towards the Dodgers, 119 WRC plus, which is 6th, compared to 118, which is 7th. So two teams that are hitting better as of late. We're seeing the Marlins be able to put up runs. I mean, the markets are telling me under. I want nothing to do with unders in Marlin games right now. That is one thing for sure. So ultimately, this is an easy stay-off spot for me. I'll go back to fading these teams tomorrow. But no play here for me. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, shit. I didn't know they popped the bottles last night. Yeah, I saw a video of Jazz Chisholm going absolutely crazy. I knew my Brewers did. Yes, they did. Only till midnight, though. Yep, got Diamondbacks minus 106. Want to get in with get to the window, but at the on the M's at some point today. 100% agree. Over 8. My book has Dodgers minus 220. Yeah. You must be stoked with how good the Mets are. They're playing good baseball. They took care. They did what they needed to do against the Nationals and blow them out in 2 games. They did what they needed to do. There's still work to be done. Over 8. That D-backs line is the most confusing one of the day. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Really, I thought they partied all night. Sounds like they'd over then. Fair. We'll move on. We have 6 games remaining, including this one with the Boston Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Rays. We have as a pick'em, total 7.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot where we have this game opening up with the Rays as minus 110 favorites. It's now minus 104. So we have a 6-cent line movement here towards Boston. Line opened up at an 8, got down to a 7.5, back up to an 8, back down to a 7.5 with the line move towards the under here in this spot. 2. Take a look at the cash flow. 78% of tickets and 85% of the cash is on the over in this game. 34% of tickets, 59% of cash, like the Boston Red Sox in this spot. I kind of lean in that direction as well. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup here between Brian Bayo and Zach Littell. Bayo, 3.34 ERA, 1.17 WHIP, 7.2 strikeouts per nine, which is 19%, 4.11 walks per nine, a 245 BABIP, a 3.49 FIP, 4.68 SIERA. On the flip side, Zach Littell, 2.4 ERA, 1.13 WHIP, 6.6 strikeouts per nine, which is 18%, 3 walks per nine, a 244 BABIP, a 3.57 FIP, and a 4.71 SIERA. Bullpen edge, Tampa Bay. Hitting edge, Tampa Bay, 84 WRC plus, which is 27th, compared to 78, which is 29th. Neither of these teams are hitting particularly well, but these are 2 pitchers projected for some negative aggression. Ultimately, that's probably going to keep me completely off the game. I don't trust Brian Bayo for a first 5 spot here. I don't trust this Red Sox offense for a first 5 spot here. I mean, it's under or nothing if I'm betting this game, but not a game I'm particularly interested in. So it's just going to be another pass here for me in this one. There you go. M's money line with the Fanatics boost plus 104. Love it. Love it. Keep riding the over 8. The coach made a post-game speech. He made that joke. Fair. Under 8. Red Sox money line. I refuse to bet the Red Sox. They have checked out. They kind of have. I unfortunately took them yesterday. And, of course, they win the full game, and I take them first 5. Both these teams aren't playing good. Where's 4-4-6? He bet the Rays last night. All of a sudden, he's disappeared. So we'll see. Over 8, no one cares about these teams. Fair. We'll move on, though. This is an important game here for the playoff race. The New York Mets and the Philadelphia Phillies in this one here. Luis Severino and Tyshawn Walker, your pitching matchup for this one here. Line opened up 135 for the Mets, down to a 133. Line opened up at an 8, minus 110. It's now an 8 at minus 118. We have 74% of tickets, 72% cash on the over. The line moving towards the over. We have 83% of tickets and 61% cash on the Mets. The line's now moving towards them now, which is interesting here. We have Taijuan Walker, who has been terrible. He got, I believe, pushed to the bullpen, and now he's being called upon to make a spot start for the Phillies today. I want to see the last time we saw Walker pitch, which the last time we saw Walker pitch was against the New York Mets. He went 3 innings of relief work on the 14th, gave up no earned runs on 3 hits, no walks, and 3 innings, no strikeouts. His last start, I believe, came against the Astros, where they blew him up for 6 runs in 6 innings pitched. So he still made it through 6 innings, but he gave up 6 runs. This is an overlooking spot for me. On the flip side, Luis Severino has been good. 2.35 ERA, 1.10 whip, 9.39 strikeouts per 9, which is 26%. 2.58 walks per 9, a 284 BABIP, a 3.38 FIP, and a 3.62 SIERA. Bullpen edge, Mets. Hitting edge, Phillies, 106 WRC+, which is 10th compared to 94, which is 18th for the Mets. It's not the most overly public over, which definitely makes me feel a little bit better about an over in this game, which is why I'm going to move on, because I do not trust Taijuan Walker. And I believe that the Mets can get to Walker. And on the flip side, Severino's been good, but he can give up a couple runs. I don't think I'm asking too much for that there. And we're starting to see some 8.5s pop up. So I am going to take the over 8 in this game. Over 8 minus 115 with the Mets and the Phillies. I took the over in a Mets-Phillies game last series. I think it was the first game of last series as well. That game went over the total with the Mets putting up 10 runs. I'm not going to say the Mets are going to put up 10 runs in this game, but I do expect them to hit Taijuan Walker pretty good. And I'm kind of interested to see how this line has moved in the first 5 innings. Because I want to find a way to maybe double up on a fade of Walker or something along those lines. The lines move towards the Mets in the first 5, telling me Walker gets hit here. But I'll just stick with the over 8. Over 8 here for me, minus 115. Let's see. Mets smash spot. Mets run line. God, why is everybody on the Mets? That's scary. Taijuan Walker day. There you go. Anyone like the over 8? I am on the over 8. Mets. Walker, a sellout. Yeah. Walker is the worst, but the Mets have bets have slowed down here. Books think Walker pitches well. Yeah, I could see the Phillies getting to Severino a little bit. That's one thing that I like with the overs. I think the Phillies can put up some runs too. Feels trappy. Somehow Philly wins this one, probably. Mets money line in the over 8. And Walker under 3.5 Ks. I think another spot in this game is you take the Phillies money line tonight, and then you fade them tomorrow after they pop the bottles, because I think with a win tonight, the Phillies take the Phillies tonight, take the Mets tomorrow. The Phillies clinch the division tonight. They celebrate tonight, and the Mets beat them tomorrow. Could be something there as well. Says the guy with the Mets t-shirt and hat. This is not a Mets t-shirt. This is a Waterboy jersey. Good for you. Phillies travel from Milwaukee. Mets stayed home. Yeah. We'll see. And it was a walk-off spot, but it was only in the 9th inning there. Phillies had to travel. They did have to travel, but Milwaukee's not that far. So we'll see. I played the over 8. Over 8 for me. Cardinals, Pirates, the next matchup here, minus 130 for the Cardinals, total 8 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here, where we have, where is this game? Pirates and Cardinals, there we go. Luis Ortiz and Eric Fetty. Line opened up 136, it's 138. Line opened up an 8 at minus 110, it's now an 8 at minus 118. So a very similar market move towards this over like it was for the Mets game last game, and very similar market as the Mets game. 73% of tickets, 75% cash on the over. Lines move towards it. 84% of tickets and 82% of the cash is on the Cardinals. The line moving towards, is it moving towards the Cardinals? Line move towards the Cardinals slightly, 2 cents in this game here. We have Luis Ortiz and Eric Fetty, two pitchers I don't have too much faith in. Ortiz, 3.58 ERA, 1.08 whip, 7.81 strikeouts per nine, which is 21%. 2.93 walks per nine, and 216 BABIP, a 509 FIP, and a 4.51 SIERA. On the flip side, Eric Fetty, 3.71 ERA, 1.31 whip, 7.09 strikeouts per nine, which is 19%. 4.05 walks per nine, a 288 BABIP, a 4.15 FIP, and a 4.95 SIERA. Both these pitchers are projected for some pretty bad negative regression. And then the bullpen edge goes towards the Cardinals. The hitting edge goes towards the Cardinals, 99 WRC plus, which is 15th, compared to 92, which is 20th. Kind of interested in playing another over here. I know I've been primarily an unders better lately, but this is another spot where I don't trust either of these pitchers. And both these bullpens, the Cardinals bullpen, I expect for some negative regression too. They've been pitching better than the Pirates, but still not a bullpen I'm going to be like, yeah, let's take an under with. So I think I want to add this over 8. I'm going to play back-to-back overs here. It feels like the exact same market as the Mets game, which that Mets game just went up to an 8.5 on my book. So there's something there. But yeah, I'm going to play Pittsburgh St. Louis over 8 in this game at -115 on this spot, and hope that both these pitchers give up some runs. We've seen Fetty struggle since coming to St. Louis, and I am not a fan of Luis Ortiz. I think he's pitched good this year, but I think he's overperforming, and his advanced numbers suggest that he shouldn't be pitching as well as he has. So the over 8 for me, over 8 -115, Cardinals and Pirates here. It's a Met spot. Fair. These guys travel all year. No big deal. Only 10 games left. Fair. Orioles nerfy. Braves first 5 run line. Twins money line in the under 8.5. Blue Jays nerfy and under 3.5 first 5. Yankee nerfy. Dodger nerfy. Rays money line. Brew Crew money line. Mets money line. Cardinals money line. Cubs. Just kidding. Nats money line and team total over for the Angels. You made me read all that just to say just kidding. Really? Pirates win this one. Lines smell a Pirates win, and they kind of do. Maybe it's a Pirates team total over as well. Under 8, if anything, I disagree. I'm on the over. But, hey, that's the fun part sometimes is disagreeing. So we'll move on. Milwaukee Brewers, Arizona Diamondbacks, -115 for the D-backs, total of 8 in this game. Let's take a look. Brandon Pfaadt and Tobias Myers. This line opened up at an even money for the Diamondbacks. It's on -114. Line opened up at an 8 at plus money. It's now an 8.5 at plus money. Now it's an 8 at -120. We have 60% of tickets and 77% of the cash on the Brewers. We got this line's gone from dog to favorite. And then we have 78% of tickets, 84% of cash on the over in this game as well. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup here, where you have Brandon Pfaadt, who I don't think has – I think he just came back from an injury because I don't have too much of a sample size for him. Didn't look good in his last start against these Brewers. These very Brewers just hit him up really hard in his last start, where he went 1 2/3 innings pitch, gave up 8 earned runs on 7 hits, 3 walks, no strikeouts, and an inning and 2/3. I think this is a bounce back spot for Brandon Pfaadt in this game, and that's why his numbers are so inflated. Granted, he gave up 4 in his previous start against the Astros. He gave up 3 against the Dodgers. He gave up 6 against the Mets. His last 4 starts have been Milwaukee, Houston, LA, and the Mets. 4 playoff teams, playoff caliber teams. And we have the Milwaukee Brewers coming in off of clinching the division last night, so I think that's a little bit of a letdown spot for them here. And I think this is a little bit of an overreaction maybe to the way that Brandon Pfaadt's been pitching as of late. Tobias Myers, 4.05 ERA, 1.45 whip, 1.43 whip, 10.13 strikeouts per nine, which is 26%, 2.7 walks per nine, a 3.42 BABIP, a 4.26 FIP, and a 3.68 SIERA. The Brewers are also coming in off of a walk-off win last night against the Philadelphia Phillies. They have used a little bit of bullpen as of late. Everybody's thrown within the last 2 days. Joe Ross threw 24 yesterday. Devin Williams threw 19 yesterday. He'll probably be available to go back-to-back days. McGill threw 13, Koenig threw 12. And the other guys who didn't pitch yesterday, Ashby, Paredes, and Piams threw the day before. And for the Diamondbacks, that is a taxed bullpen. Maybe that's why the line is the way it is. Because Kihara's thrown 52 in the last three days. Zuniga threw 7 yesterday, 35 in the last 3 days. Strickland threw 28 on Tuesday. Burke's thrown back-to-back games. Zephyr Hahn threw 10. Rosenberg and Fulmer threw 17 each. That's the Angels. Never mind. That's not the Diamondbacks. I don't know why I was reading that. Okay, never mind. Mantiply threw back-to-back. I apologize. I'm reading the completely wrong bullpen there. Mantiply threw back-to-back. But then other than that, Puck will be available. Martinez will be available. Gink will be available. Yeah, this is Astros. Diamondbacks money line for me. Give me Arizona in this spot. I'm getting -120 for them. I'll take the Diamondbacks here, -120 on the money line in this game. Let's see. D-backs money line. Yeah. Oh. Thank you, Earle. There you go. Over 8. All the money on the Brewers traveling from Coors, and the money is moving aggressively towards the Diamondbacks. And Fad over 16.5 has come back. I could see that. I could see this as a sleepy spot for the Brewers, who are coming in off of clinching the division last night. Diamondbacks team total over. Don't hate that. I can't bet the Diamondbacks coming off of Coors. That's fair. Corbin Carroll home run. Over 8's the best play. Under, if anything. Pavin Smith home run. Line smells like a Brew win. Maybe. I don't see it. The just kidding was about the Cubs. Those picks are part. Oh, okay, fair. Team coming out of Coors versus hungover Brewers. Low scoring. I could see that. Where's your brother? He's working. Glad Burns left. Watching my Brewers celebrate. Hell yeah. Jock Peterson 3-1. Not a bad look there either. But yeah, Diamondbacks -120 for me. Diamondbacks -120. I've all of a sudden got a decent amount of action on this card, and I'm kind of worried it might end with the freaking Angels. But we'll get into that in a minute. We have the Washington Nationals and the Chicago Cubs. -165 for the Cubbies, total of 8.5 in this game. It's my boy, Patrick Corbin on the mound, taking on Javier Assad. This line opened up at a 167. It's down to a 163. Line opened up at an 8.5, -105. It's now an 8.5, -116. So a move towards the over and a move towards the Nationals, suggesting that Assad is vulnerable here. 79% of tickets, 79% of the cash is on the over. 91% of tickets, 92% of the cash is on the Cubbies, and the line moving towards the Nationals here, making Washington very appealing in this game. Let's take a look. Patrick Corbin's been really strong as of late. 3.34 ERA, 1.11 WHIP, 10.01 strikeouts per 9, which is 27%, 2.12 walks per 9, and 289 BABIP, a 3.51 FIP, and a 3.16 SIERA. On the flip side, we have Javier Assad, 3.56 ERA, 1.32 WHIP, 7.12 strikeouts per 9, which is 19%, 2.97 walks per 9, and 299 BABIP, a 4.29 FIP, and a 4.5 SIERA. Bullpen edge, Nationals. Hitting edge goes towards the Cubbies, 104 WRC plus, which is 9th, compared to 84, which is 26th. I want to back the Nationals here in this game. I see all the edges towards the Nationals. The only thing I have with the Cubs is that they're home. Other than that, I have no interest in this Cubs team whatsoever, and I think we're getting a decent number to back Patrick Corbin here. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. It's the Nationals money line at +144 full game. And for me, I want to back Patrick Corbin because you got to keep in mind that he's going to pitch well, I think, the rest of the season here, and he has pitched pretty well. It's a contract year for him. His contract expires with the Nationals after this year. And the one thing that we've seen with Patrick Corbin, he's been consistent. He eats innings, and he is somebody who just very reliable in your rotation to pitch every 5 games. He'll give you a 4 ERA, 4.5 ERA, but he'll be there every 5 days. And I think that that'll be valuable to some teams looking for somebody like that in the offseason. So I'm on the Nationals money line here, plus 144. The hungover bets. There you go. Oh, shit. Diamondbacks are just hanging on to a wild card. Yeah, it's a desperate Diamondbacks team. Under 8.5. Cubs game over 9 for sure. Cubs run line. I am on the opposite side there. We'll move on to the final game of the night. We have the Houston Astros taking on the LA Angels, minus 275 for the Astros, total of 8.5 in this game, and it's just creeping up. Okay. Line opened up at 255. It's now 282 on Bet Online. Line opened up at an 8.5 plus 105. It's now an 8.5 minus 105 towards the over in this game as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game, where we have 85% of tickets, 85% of cash on the over, 92% of tickets, 98% of cash is on the Astros. In this game, it's up around the 280, 285 range. Let's take a look. Yusei Kikuchi, Jose Suarez. Suarez hasn't pitched much as of late. I click off. There we go. Suarez has not pitched much as of late. Let me grab his numbers here because I have him for 0 ERA, but I mean, let's see. It's his name. Was he even starting? We last saw him on September 13th against the Astros. He went 4 innings, gave up no earned runs, 5 hits, no walks, 5 strikeouts, 4 innings pitch. Previous to that, he went 3 innings against the Minnesota Twins, gave up no earned runs on no hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts in those 3 innings. He's pitched pretty well as of late. On the flip side, Yusei Kikuchi has gone to Houston and dominated. 3.45 ERA, 0.93 whip, 10.05 strikeouts per 9, which is 28%, 1.72 walks per 9, a 2.28 BABIP, a 3.59 FIP, and a 3.09 SIERA. Bullpen edge going towards the Astros, hitting edge, a pretty significant one towards the Astros. 122 WRC plus, which is 4th, compared to 52, which is 27th. I need to take a look here for something. And, yep. Bet 365, minus 310. Caesars, 305. DraftKings, 305. ESPN Bet, 310. Fanatics, 285, but I don't know how much that updates. And 3-1 on FanDuel. This will be the Angels' first 5. The Angels' full game for me. Double up with the minus 300 fade. No team should be minus 300 in baseball. And that includes that, which I'm extremely nervous about this one because the Angels shredded through their bullpen yesterday. They played 13 innings against the White Sox. Meanwhile, though, the Astros, their bullpen's going to be pretty fresh because they got 7 innings from Valdez last game. But I'm getting plus 240 full game, plus 210 first 5. I'm going to be on the Angels first 5 in full game. It's the minus 300 fade. Haven't had one of those in a hot minute. And I expect to see probably more this weekend with the Padres hosting the White Sox. Can only imagine what that line's going to be. But yeah, which we do not have a line for that game yet. But yeah, it's going to be Angels to end my card here. It's all of a sudden I have a really big card in the MLB today. So there's that. But that is the full MLB card for today. Let's head back to the chat and then we will head on out. Let's see. Astros minus 282 on Bet Online, minus 310 on some places. Oh shit, not a cash cow. Nope. Astros minus 2.5 plus 122. Angels hot right now. They played the White Sox. Kikuchi better pitch a gem today. Kikuchi's going to lay it down. Mets, Angels, and Red Sox are hot right now. They should all win. I would not say should because the Red Sox, I wouldn't call them hot right now. And the Angels just played the White Sox. And those 2 soccer team money lines. There you go. But that is everything for today's card. The recap will be in my CapperTek. Go ahead, create a profile, and give me a follow. I'll give you a week free. But yeah, and that is a parlay there. There you go. But that is going to do it for today's show. I want to thank you guys as always for watching, and we'll catch you guys same time, same place for another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. Good luck, guys.